Good morning, YouTube. Just getting this live stream set up here. Trying to get this text-to-speech stuff fired up here. Alright, should almost have it here. All right, looks like we got it fired up. All right, just north of St. Louis right now, or yeah, north and east of St. Louis. Heading down to Dallas, Texas for delivery tomorrow. Well, I don't think I'm supposed to turn left here. But I'm going to anyways.
At the third traffic light, turn slightly left onto the Interstate 55 South.
Just starting my shift right now. Gonna go through St. Louis and about 20 miles or so here.
Turn slightly left onto the Interstate 55 South.
Hello, hello, welcome to the live stream.
At Ronald really says hello. And Celia 7591 says hi. At Ronald really says where you at. At minimum underscore and underscore gadgets underscore W says hi. And Celia 7591 says where are you going?
Give me 1 second here, gotta get my, just play through my truck speakers here. Currently north of St. Louis here, on my way to Dallas, Texas.
At minimum underscore and underscore gadgets underscore W says W car color. Celia 7591 says yeah.
A mile merge onto the highway.
All right, I don't have my Bluetooth through my tractor speakers yet. I'm gonna get pulled off on the side here, get that fixed up, so I can chat with you guys going down the highway here.
And Celia 7591 says when did you start the live stream? At Ronald Curly says you driving 16-wheeler.
Driving an 18-wheeler. I started doing these live streams, I think last October. I did them for about a month or so, and I had to switch jobs because they were ripping me off money-wise. And I just resumed starting these a couple weeks ago, so. Alright, let me see if I can get this to play through my truck speakers here. I hit the wrong button. You son of a gun.
At Rover de Garcia-HF9CW says Saludos desde Argentina, Bueno Aires, bendiciones. At Rover de Garcia-HF9CW.
Well, hello to Argentina. Thanks for joining the live stream. Oh, I just started this one. This live stream started about 5 minutes ago, 7 minutes ago maybe. So I did not have my Bluetooth turned on and paired up. So yeah, I technically haven't really done anything yet. All right. So I'm just north of St. Louis, Missouri right now. Actually on the Illinois side. About 20 miles away from there. Let's get moving now. I think I got this Bluetooth thing figured out.
Now merge onto the highway.
Oh, looks like it's starting to rain. Yay. Oh, yesterday's been the only dry day I've had pretty much all week. Been pretty torrential
Follow the highway.
up through Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, and then again in Indiana the day before yesterday.
Sionia7591 says oh.
Alright, got the Bluetooth working. What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday morning or Wednesday night, depending on where you're at. Got a way station coming up here in 2 miles. Pretty light on this trip. I only got about 5,000 pounds in the trailer. Not 100% what's on here. But currently heading to Dallas, Texas. I'll deliver tomorrow morning. Telling me it's going to take 15 to 20 hours to unload this trailer. So I'm coming on here doing this live stream today because it's likely I'll be jammed up Saturday or won't be able to get on Saturday to do it. I'd like to do these live streams on Saturday and Sunday if I can, and then one during the week. But since I might not be able to make Saturday, I'd jump on this morning for a couple hours. How's everybody doing? Where's everybody at this morning? I seen Argentina out there. Hola.
Over speed limit.
Oh, getting a little windy. station here. Pretty warm out still right now. I got about 75 degrees on it. It's supposed to be about 94 degrees in the St. Louis area today. That way station is closed.
At Proof Mirage Sonar 001 said hi.
Hi, Proof. How you doing, bud? All right. Not sure what's going on with the, might be a storm cell of some sort coming in right now. It's starting to get a big gusty out. Now, I'll roll the windows down a little, maybe you guys can hear some of the gusts coming
At
up.
Proof Mirage Sonar 001 says good man.
Glad to hear it, glad to hear it. Yeah, we had some high heat going on out in Indiana and Illinois past couple days. The heat index was to about 105 degrees. The actual temperature was only in the mid 90s, and I felt like I was going to die. So I hope you got a little relief over there. Hopefully the temperatures came down. But man, I was thinking about you when I was suffering through the 105 degree heat index, not even actual temperature. So thinking about what a wuss I am. So all right, currently let's see, 11 miles, 12 miles from the state line. We're crossing from Illinois into Missouri, right in St. Louis. You might get to see the arch a little bit. It's currently 3:15 in the morning, 3:15 a.m. and where I'm at right now. So because I'm only allowed to work so many hours in a week, I really try to be strategical when I'm going through these major cities.
At Proof Mirage Sonar 001 says so much background noise.
Is there? Huh. Let me see, maybe my wonder if my microphone is not working. Did it get any better? I turned my fan down a little bit just in case that was causing it. Alright, dropping down to 55 miles an hour. Yeah, I wonder if there's something wrong with my microphone, didn't power up or something. Alright, let's hit the shoulder. See if I can get that fixed up. Oh, not that big of a shoulder here. Well, let's see if this microphone's working here. I don't see the light on here. All right. The audio get any better?
At Colin Elder 2477 says, bro, what happened?
What do you mean? Well, I was adjusting my microphone, making sure it was powered on and working, but Proots had said there's a lot of background noise, and there shouldn't have been.
At Colin Elder 2477 says, aw, gotcha.
All right, got some construction here.
At ProofGarageSonar001 says, are you in California? At Colin Elder 2477 says, drive safe, dog. I'm heading out. I gotta be on the road too.
Cool, thanks for joining in. Hopefully we'll catch you some other time. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. I do try to come on here 2 to 3 times a week.
At Rover de Garcia-HF9ZW says, saludos desde Argentina, Bueno Aires bendiciones.
Hi to Argentina. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, Proots, I'm in Illinois right now, heading into Missouri. So I put together a little compilation there. He used to in Los Angeles, so he sends me some videos as he gets some interesting ones from out there. His videos never get any action though, so there's a pretty amazing crash in one of the clips that was in that, if this is what you're even referring to. But he sends me some pretty cool videos, and on Facebook, I've had videos that get over 1 million views, and his videos get like 200 to 300 views. And now even when I put it on YouTube, I think it had 1 view in the first 12 hours. Yeah, I probably should have looked at the weather when I started. Probably going to kick myself in the ass for that, because I'm getting hit with some ridiculous gusts right now.
At Proof Garage Sonar 001 says, what do you vehicle?
Honestly, I'm a muscle car guy, so I prefer internal combustion engines, so definitely normal / gas. I like big horsepower, and I like to go fast. I used to have a Dodge Challenger Hellcat. It was a 200-mile-an-hour car, 707 horsepower. That was pretty badass. So getting pretty close to St. Louis now. I don't know if you guys will be able to see the arch or not. With the way the camera's set up and everything, but you might be able to get to see it for a minute or so.
At Astrology-Fishing Utahsa says, what's it like on the American roads?
It's American roads are pretty crazy. I mean, sometimes they get super packed, super busy. A lot of people drive without licenses or suspended licenses. We even have a lot of CDL drivers now that have basically fake CDLs. They're called non-domiciled. Now, it's not all non-domiciled, but you know, they've somehow found a way to use false identities and get issued a CDL with no training, no experience. It's become a major issue over here. Guys that can't read, write, or speak English. And that's important because all the road signs, speed limit signs, no U-turns, low bridges are in English. And if you can't read that, then it's very, very unsafe. So, like I said, I'm not knocking anyone for being an immigrant or knocking you for not being able to read, write, or speak English, but you should not be driving a semi-truck without a valid CDL. For me to get a job is ridiculous. All the hoops I have to jump through. I have to have like a medical certification, like near perfect driving record, no accidents, no incidents, this and that. And then yet, you know, there's probably upwards of 50 to 100,000 drivers on U.S. roads that have none of that and are driving semi-trucks going 80 miles an hour. And these things can weigh up to 80,000 pounds. So, alright, and I actually have to move over one lane here. But yeah, American roads can get pretty crazy. They're pretty dangerous, but they're still probably the safest roads in the world per capita, however you want to say that. I think the last year on record was 2023 or 24, and there's 43,000 traffic-related deaths on U.S. roadways, which is a lot, but it's still a lot less than other countries. So a lot of people die. I think I read there's upward close to 1 million traffic-related deaths worldwide every year. So if you don't know what you're doing out here, it is crazy dangerous. Columbus, Ohio, which is near where I'm from, I just had an accident a couple months ago, and it was one of those, a guy who had a false identity for 30 years, horrible safety records, horrible track records. You know, there was traffic stopped on the highway in a construction zone, and this guy ran into them going, I think, 70 miles an hour. Ended up hitting 9 vehicles. That's how much force these trucks have when they have a lot of weight in them. And killed 3 people, and it was an entire family, a mother, father, and like a 6-month or year-old baby.
Interstate 64 West, St. Louis.
So, all right, we're gonna head down. We're just crossing. There's the arch right there, straight ahead. It's not very illuminated right now. You might be able to see it a little bit. We're gonna get on Interstate 44 and head west for the next few hundred miles here. Then we're gonna take US 69 and 75. I'm gonna run that all the way down to Dallas, Texas. So I'll get within about 100 miles of that today. I'll run the rest of the way in tomorrow morning.
64 West, St. Louis.
And then they tell me it's going to take 15 to 20 hours to unload my trailer. I have no idea why. So currently almost 3:30 a.m. local time here.
Ecology-Fishing Utah says, oh god, that's horrible, must be annoying AF that they can get away with this crap.
Well, that's just dangerous. They can't keep it in their lanes. They're all over the road. And they usually drive older trucks, which have none of the technology the newer trucks have to apply the brakes if you're coming up on stop traffic. Most of them aren't governed, so they'll go 75, 80 miles an hour. And everyone else, most other big trucks are governed at 65 to 70 miles an hour for the most part. But yeah, it's incredibly dangerous. They are making a lot of headway on that, getting those unsafe drivers off the road. But the unfortunate thing is they're gonna take a lot of other like immigrant drivers off the road that are valid and do have good licenses and good experience and who are safe. I know a number of these guys. They're just gonna not let them renew their license, and basically the whole life they've built in the U.S. is gonna get flipped upside down because of it. So, all right, we're gonna get on Interstate 44 heading west.
At Proof Mirage Sonar 001 says, good to see no one is giving an overtaking lane unlike India.
Now right towards Interstate 44 West, Tulsa.
Yeah, I imagine India gets pretty crazy. I mean, just so many people in some areas over there are just so densely populated.
Now keep left towards Interstate 44 West, Tulsa.
All right, got a 20-mile-an-hour curve on this exit ramp here. So on a semi-truck, if you take a curve obscenely fast, you will flip your trailer. So it's frustrating for other traffic, but you got to take your time and go slow.
At Proof Mirage Sonar 001 says, I mean no one is driving an overtaking lane.
Gotcha. Yeah, when you get into peak times out here, they definitely will. Alright, let's change lanes here. We got 55 southbound completely shut down up here. Imagine that's for construction.
At Creep Crow says, Gurnig.
Now keep right to take the exit towards Interstate 44 West, Tulsa.
So I have not been down this route 6975 in years and years and years. I used to run that route all the time. Used to work for a company out of Joplin, Missouri. That was my first solo over-the-road gig back in 2009. I drove team doubles prior to that, so I'd have two trailers instead of one. Had a co-driver. That truck was always moving. When I'm sleeping, he's driving. When I'm driving, he would be sleeping. Absolutely hated it. All right. Well, can't wait to get out of the metro here and put my foot down on the accelerator. Hey, Proof, did the audio get any better?
At Proof Hiraj Sonar 001 says, yeah, the audio is better now.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think I had my AC fan up too high and it was blowing into it maybe, so appreciate the heads up earlier on that. So currently on Interstate 44 heading westbound. I'm gonna run this few hundred miles over into Oklahoma and get off on Route 69 and 75, run that down to Dallas. I'm looking forward to running that route. I have not been there in so long. I used to have a buddy that worked out of Muskogee, Oklahoma. I remember stopping in there for lunch when he'd be in town, when I'd be passing through. Unfortunately, he passed away. I'll move over, let this guy to my right come over for the truck that's on the shoulder there. Bouncy bounce. So going to try to run this live stream for an hour and a half to 2 hours or so this morning. I'm curious to see if my signal's going to cooperate. I am going to be in some pretty rural areas here, not too far from right now. Go ahead and get over right. Got some other truck traffic behind me. Well, I think we definitely got some weather coming in here. All right, speed limit 60 now. So I was supposed to have a day off the other day, and somehow they screwed me out of that. I was trying to do a 34-hour reset. I was absolutely exhausted. Needed to give my brain and body a rest, and I was halfway into my 34-hour reset when they threw this Dallas load at me, and I couldn't say no. Decent trips are hard to come by at my current position, so I am kind of taking my time heading there, though. Yeah, it looks like a little more rain coming. Getting on the outskirts of St. Louis now. Whoa, big piece of something in the highway there. Just barely missed that. Can't tell if that was wood or steel or what that was. So I had a trailer tire blow out yesterday when I was going down the highway. Those aren't fun. I mean, when one of these truck tires blows up, it really explodes. It's loud, sounds like a bomb going off. I imagine if you're the vehicle behind or to the side of me,
At Proof Your
probably poop your
Oxynar
pants.
001 says you should upload your truck tour video.
Yeah, going to at some point. Kind of just dragging my feet on that because I'm going to be quitting this job hopefully in the next couple months and moving into another one. And then once I get into that next truck, I'll do some material on the actual truck itself and everything. I kind of got to keep the company I'm working for hidden, just to not cause problems with customers and the shippers, receivers, and so there's a lot of riffraff involved in doing what I do with this stuff. Basically, nobody knows I'm doing it, essentially. So if they found out, I'd probably get fired. Which, I'm Johnny Dangerously, so that's okay. I'd take that risk. I do have a video almost put together on my trailer tire blown out yesterday. I'm going to try to get that finished and put up this afternoon or this evening. So, but yep, I've had, I think, 6 tire blowouts in the last 6 months. And that's just ridiculous. I've never had so many tires blow up. You know, they run recap tires, so they'll use the casing, is what they call it, like the sidewalls, and just kind of construct new tread on top of those used sidewalls, and those are called recaps. And I mean, they were never that great to begin with, but I don't know why, but the fail rate on these tires is astronomical nowadays. And not just the 6 blowouts I've had in 6 months, but I've also had to have 7 other tires put on because of damage, like tread getting ripped off and chunked but still had air in it. Yeah, I had a steer tire a couple weeks ago that had a broken belt in it. So these tires are these tires are pretty expensive. One new steer tire is probably $600 to $700 just for the tire. Now the tractor tires are a little less than that, but still pretty expensive, $400 to $500 a piece. I got 8 tractor tires, and then there's 8 trailer tires. So, but yeah, glad I don't own my own truck anymore.
After 2 miles, keep left.
Proof Garage Sonar 001 says I was going out of town some days ago in public bus and the rear tire right below my seat blasted.
Left towards interstate.
Oh wow, so you know all about what it's like to have a tire blow up. That's some scary stuff, man. I mean, it's like a freaking explosion going off. I'm sure the people in the cars next to me, when every time a tire blows up, probably almost poop their pants. So it's happened so much to me in the last 6 months, I don't even flinch anymore when I hear it. And I can usually see it in my mirror. I'll hear the sound, look out my mirror, and just see tire shards and everything flying everywhere. So it's an experience. In the video I'm going to put up later, you can even hear some of the explosion from, and this is all the way in the back of the trailer where the tire exploded. And I was on the phone with a friend of mine when it happened, and some other guy gets on the CB radio, because if you're behind it, you run one of those treads over, I mean, it'll make you lose control if you hit one of those on a car. So it will cause some damage. So all right, almost outside of the St. Louis Loop here. Ready for the speed limit to go up to 70 miles an hour, so I can hit it, put some miles down on the pavement here. So I do get paid by the mile, so, and I'm only allowed to work so many hours in a week, so doing the math on that, the quicker I move, the more productive it is for me. On the flip side of that, I have a video from back in, I think it was in January. Huge ice storm, snowstorm going through like Nashville, Tennessee, Georgia. Parts that usually don't get too much snow, and I had to make a break for it, which basically involved me driving 25 to 30 miles an hour for several hours because the roads were so bad, just to power through this and get past it. If I didn't make it through when I did, I was going to get stuck there for another 2 to 3 days, at which I would have been paid nothing for. So, but going 25 to 30 miles an hour, and it was hard work. It was a long day. I made about half as much money as I usually make, so it's just pisses me off that, the harder I work, the less I make. I mean, it shouldn't be that way.
At Proof Garage Sonar 001 says that was like sudden shock change in blood pressure. At Proof Garage Sonar 001 says, how do you charge per mile? At Rural Sheepdog Sheep 6790 says, would you rather cross a room full of loaded mouse traps barefoot or cross a room barefoot and the room is full of Lego?
I don't know. Neither? Can I pick neither on the mousetrap Legos scenario there? I would say mousetraps. Yeah, I think mousetraps would be better, less painful in the long run. Proof, the mileage rate is pretty much set by the companies you work for. So it's the same rate for all the miles I do. Because I'm a company driver, I get paid empty miles and loaded miles. The same rate for both of those. But I don't get paid for all the miles I do. So there's different routings over here. There's called households goods items routing, and there's
At Rural
practical
Sheepdog Sheep 6790 says, why don't you just charge per hour?
Well, it's not up to me. Companies don't pay over-the-road drivers by the hour. Some local driving jobs, a buddy of mine's got a job where he goes home every day and just basically a delivery driver. And he gets paid by the hour, and he gets paid time and a half for anything over 40 hours. Interstate drivers are exempt from overtime rules. So if I got paid by the hour, I would not get paid overtime. It would just be straight hours, and I work about 70 hours a week. So, but yeah, basically the companies decide what you get paid. And the practical mileage routing that pays, to give an example, pays about 92% of the miles average. So if I drive 1,000 miles loaded and empty, I'm probably only going to get somewhere around 900 to 920 miles pay for that. That's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how it's legal, how they get away with it. The household's goods routing is even less than that. It's like 85 to 90%. You get paid 850 to 900 miles on that 1,000-mile trip. But that's just the way it is. Yeah, I mean, it's bullshit. You pay me by the mile, but you don't pay me for all the miles I do. I mean, how's that not fraud? But the only option would be just not to drive at all if I didn't like it that bad. There are a couple companies that pay actual miles. They'll take the miles of your odometer and pay you based off of that, but they're very, very few and far between. Probably only a handful of companies in the country pay like that, so. But my current job, I get paid 65 cents per mile. I got this car next to me. I slowed down, and this car slows down with it. I'm going to get up close to the line, give this guy some room, scare that car next to me. All right, past St. Louis now, through St. Louis. Get past some of these curves, and this speed limit should go up to 70. Let's see how fast the guy in front of me is going. Showing 62 miles an hour. They got some pretty big hills out here on the route we're going to be doing today. So if I had maximum weights on my trailer, I would be down to 40 to 50 miles an hour on some of these hills that I'm going to have. But I only got
At Rural Sheepdog Sheep 6790 says that's ludicrous. We got millings from a truck company, charged us 180 per hour plus 40 per ton.
I know that driver may have been getting paid by the hour, if he's like local or regional. But yeah, the way these companies bill and the way they pay out is, well, let's face it.
At Magoo4444 says random question of the day. How many deer per week are you taking out?
None on the deer. I mean, I've seen hundreds of deer in my career. I slightly hit one probably about 17 years ago. Now there's been 20 or 30 near misses. But yeah, I've never had a direct hit on a deer in a big truck or in a car really, so. But yeah, it's driving a truck is a little different than a car, though you should still take the same tactic in a car. But if a deer runs out in front of you, the last thing you want to do is swerve. Do not swerve. Try to brake and slow down, decrease your speed, but keep that wheel straight and you got to hit it, and you just got to hit it. If you swerve and you lose control of your car, now you're going from car damage to potentially serious injury or even death. You know, if you're, depending on what kind of road you're on, if you lose control of your car, you might hit another car head on, you might hit a tree. So don't swerve when there's wildlife in front of you. Even if you got debris in the road, try to decrease speed and slow down, but keep that wheel straight. Do not swerve. So that was a great question, though. But yeah, back to that millings and the 180 an hour they're billing. It just goes into, if you look at every industry, like the people that do most of the work always make the least amount of money. That's ridiculous. These billionaire activist investors and all that who sit on their ass and don't do anything, just steal and steal and steal from working people. It's aggravating. And it doesn't matter where you're at, what part of the world you're in. That's the strategy. I mean, why do you think these CEOs make $100 million a year in pay and stock bonuses and incentives? It's for coming up with new and novel ways of ripping off their employees and their customers. So not sure how to fix it, but that's just the way. That's what it is, though. So because I'm pretty light today when I hit these hills, I'm going to
At Magoo4444 says, what's the worst weather that you've ever had to drive through?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. There's been so much. I mean, ice and snow is bad, but if it gets too bad, I can pull off and stop. But wind. I'm gonna say wind. Actually, I'm gonna go back. I'm just gonna say the worst weather I drove through was a few months ago. I was heading, I think, from like Fort Wayne, Indiana to Elkhart, Indiana, and they had not 60 to 70 mile an hour wind gusts. They had steady 60 to 70 mile an hour winds. And I had an empty trailer for the first 30 miles on my way there. I had a tailwind, so it wasn't bad. And then when I changed routes, it turned into a crosswind, And I do have some video I put up. This I forget exactly when this was. But yeah, I was literally on a 55-mile-an-hour road, and I could not go more than 30 to 35 miles an hour. The wind was hitting me so hard in the side. Even at 35 miles an hour, it was trying to flip my trailer. And there's nowhere to park nearby, anywhere near. And I just had to deal with it for, you know, a good 40 miles or so. And it was pretty scary. I thought for sure my truck was flipping. And I came up on a truck that did flip. I have some video up there of that, and if I remember, I'll try to repost that and put that up. I might not even put that on YouTube, so I'll post that this afternoon from that high wind scenario. But yeah, like there's video where you can hear like this vibration, and I put a clip on, and it's actually my trailer tires sliding sideways against the asphalt. And yeah, so if my trailer did flip in that scenario, that would go down as a preventable accident on my record, and it could make it, I could be terminated for it, and I might have trouble finding another truck driving job because of it. And these companies are so picky about everything. Any little scrape, scratch, whatever, you know, they're doing paperwork on it. Just trying to ruin your good record so they can pay you less money. So, but yeah, thanks for that question. That was with so much weather out here. I mean, between rain, storms, just torrential downpours, wind, ice, snow. I mean, it's it's a pretty near constant thing you have to deal with out here. So I try to stay on top of things and research the weather radars and where I'm going, where I'm heading, and you know, unfortunately I did not do that this morning. I should have. I think there might be some severe weather along my route today, but I'm currently on day, let's see, 25 in a row, working a recap on my hours of service, so pretty beat up and exhausted at this point. Hey, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. I do put lots of other videos up during the week, short videos, long videos. I have a bunch more to put up. There was a 6-month stretch where I wasn't putting too much on YouTube, so I have a lot of prior material to put up there, and yeah, I got some pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool videos and everything, so all right, should be hitting a 70-mile-an-hour speed limit at some point.
4444 says, what are your top 3 pet peeves of other drivers?
Oh, I don't know. I'd probably have to give you well, we got the left lane blocked here. Let's go ahead and get over. I wonder what's going on up here. Yeah, I don't know that I can narrow it down to a top 3, maybe a top 50. Pretty much my number one pet peeve about other drivers is that the fact that there are other drivers. People are horrible at driving cars. Horrible at driving trucks. I mean, there are more bad truck drivers on the road today than there's ever been over here in the U.S. Mainly because of the non-domiciles with fake CDLs, just making it incredibly dangerous. So that roadblock in that far left lane is a rolling roadblock for something. I'm going to imagine or guess that it's some kind of a construction vehicle. Maybe it's a tow truck, not sure yet. Got a car on the right shoulder here. Alright, got a couple hills here. Because I'm so light, I'm going to fly up these hills. It's like the guy in front of me, he is going 62 miles an hour now. He's down to 60. Alright, so that's some kind of construction equipment there. He's at 61, so the guy in front of me is not super heavy. All right, it's drizzling out a little right now, which is messing my windshield up. All right, I think we're about ready to get into the 70-mile-an-hour speed limit here. So my overspeed, I'm only allowed 5 miles over until I get in trouble. So that's one of the least amount of overspeed, the smallest overspeed I've ever had driving before. Most companies don't call you on the carpet until you're 10 miles an hour over the speed limit for more than 10 seconds. So not here. You know, when you're driving up in Chicago, you can go 9 miles over the speed limit and have a state cop pass you and not even bat an eye, but not allowed to do that here. Not that you should speed, but you know, whatever, you know. If I can drive faster, then it's better utilization of my hours, so just don't crash. Alright, guy in front of me is going 67. So I do have forward-facing radar on this tractor. I'm currently driving a 2023 Freightliner Cascadia. It has got 349,000 miles on it right now. I've only been in this truck since the beginning of January, so I probably only put maybe 60,000 of those miles on there, give or take. There's a 70-mile-an-hour speed limit. Might have already went past that. Alright. Alright, let's use some windshield washer fluid here, get this crap cleaned off my window. All right, moving right along now. 70 miles an hour. Got 254 miles left in Missouri here. Left 2 lanes closed ahead. That does not sound like fun. That's one of the downsides about driving very early or overnight is a lot of places do their construction overnight when there's less traffic out, so it usually doesn't cause much of a delay overnight. So, but you got to keep your eyes open. Don't run over construction workers. Not a good thing. Happens all the time though. Kind of interesting, they did not lower the speed limit through here. But the guy in front of me is going 49 miles an hour, but which I'm okay with. They only got cones up blocking us off, so I would probably be going a little quicker than this if since there's no workers around. But if there's workers on the other side of those cones, I'll drop speed a lot, 20 to 30 miles an hour tops. Alright, I got the guy behind me trying to come around. This guy's out in front of me is up to 55 miles an hour now. Kind of trapped over here. Hopefully he gets off the high. Well, now I'm going to need to get over. Son of a gun. Alright, there's some workers there. Really close to the line. Get up out of the way. And let's go slow until we know there's no more workers up here. I think we're good. That's the end of the construction. Yeehaw. All right, let's get back up to 70 and probably go past this guy again. Yes, the guy in front of me is going 69 miles an hour now. I'm running 70. I do have a process. Well, now he's going 70, so hopefully he'll maintain that. But because I'm super light, and a lot of these trucks aren't going to be, anytime we hit a hill, they're going to slow down drastically. So there might be a lot of back and forth. I pass a guy, he goes down a hill and passes me. Type of situations up here. Well, now he's at 66 miles an hour. Little hill here. It's probably going to slow a bunch of these guys down. So not sure how well my signal's going to hold up coming up here. It's going to be pretty rural out in the middle of out in the middle of nowhere. I got T-Mobile, so we're going to find out. Well, those guys didn't get slowed down as much as I thought they would have. That guy's going 64. I'm gonna have to pass him. Might be time for another cigarette. Alright, got a little of a hill here. Let's see if I can get out past all these guys that are in front of me here. Curve here. Wow, I'm getting slowed up more than that guy is. I literally only have 5,000 pounds on this trailer, when I could probably fit about 46 to 47,000 for a maximum weight. Alright, I'll get back over when I'm done passing this guy. It's gonna take a little while to take the one in front of me here. Well, I think he just slowed down a little. Alright, he's going 68. Alright, let's go ahead. Another hill here. I'd be curious to see if he goes faster up the hill or I go faster up the hill. I think I should, but he might have an empty trailer. Yeah. Well, almost past this guy. There we go. Well, I'm gonna have to pass these two. The hills are definitely slowing them down a bit. Well, that sound means there's another way station coming up. Probably not open, but you never know. Well, I'm gonna pass this guy anyways. Hopefully that scale's not open. So I have missed open way stations before. Maybe 3 or 4 times over the last almost 20 years, but they did come down and chase me down one of those times. That way station is closed. It cost me $270 on a ticket for that. That was probably way back in 2013, 2014 or so. That sound means I have to pull in unless it's closed. I have not gotten a bypass on a way station in quite some time. There's some days I gotta go into 4 or 5 different way stations. I have this pre-pass. Mine's actually called like a DriveWise app, which will pre-clear you, give you, they call it the green light. So I don't have to stop at an open scale house, but mine might be broke. So I'm going to run this live stream for maybe another 30 to 45 minutes or so. Guy in front of me is going 69 miles an hour. I run 70. So if I try to pass him, which could be less than a mile an hour faster, like let's say 0.6, 0.7 miles per hour faster than this guy, it would take forever. Overnight's better because there's not as much other traffic out here, but it's still bad to take 10 minutes to pass one truck or vehicle. So what I do in these scenarios is I'll lower my speed 1 mile an hour, and if I still continue to close the distance, I'll bump it back up and then do that pass. That means I'll be at least a mile an hour faster than the guy. That's in like an overnight scenario. I'll also look for right now, if he decreases speed going up the hill, and start eyeing up any opportunity I can to know what I got to do to get around this guy. So he dropped to 65, 66 miles an hour. I dropped to 67 there. So he's not getting slowed much more than I am. So I'm probably going to have to hang back here for a while. Now he's going 67. Guy in front of me is going 57. Let's get over here. Well, this guy's going 61. I'm going 65, so I could definitely take him up the next hill maybe. Alright, now he's just going a lot slower. So they both definitely have some weight in their box. I sure would like to get in front of the guy that's in front of me. Well, we're probably going to be going downhill now. Probably going to have to wait to pass this guy. There's no traffic behind me right now yet, so let's hang over here for a minute. So if you're just joining in, my name's Johnny Dangerously. Thanks for joining the live stream here. Currently on Interstate 44, heading westbound on my way to Dallas, Texas. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. So I'm just going to stay in this left lane here. I have no one behind me for a while, so it's going to take me a while to pass this guy. If we get a hill up here, it'll make it a lot easier. But this could take a while.
Neuro says, what's up?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Devil Neuro says trucking stream, love it.
Oh, thanks. I think I remember chatting with you back last year in October or so, October, November or something. I want to say you're in Ohio, but maybe you're not. All right, about leveled up with this guy now. He's heavier than I am, so he's...
Devil Neuro says you got a good memory.
Yeah, I didn't do the live streams for a long period there, so the ones I did do, you know, were pretty memorable for me. So I have a lot of fun doing this stuff. So it's a lot of fun chatting with y'all going down the highway. So I try to.
Devil Neuro says spot on still.
Yep. I don't know how I remember that, and I can't remember anything that happened yesterday. That's pretty weird. All right. Still have no one behind me, so that's good. I'm only about a mile an hour faster than this guy. He's heavier than I am, so if we get a halfway decent hill, I should be able to increase the distance quickly between me and him, but it's pretty slow going in the meantime.
At Evilneuro says it always be like that, man. You can remember the most random stuff but can't remember what you ate for dinner 2 days ago.
Yeah. Or remember anything, like remember to set my alarm to go to work the next day. I always forget to do that. So. All right, almost passed this guy. It actually took me a few minutes less than I thought it would. But I got jammed up going up a hill, stuck behind this guy, and I wasn't gonna let that happen again. So I'm pretty light. I don't have a lot of weight on, so I'm gonna be able to fly up these hills when everyone else is getting slowed way down. So this guy's already slowed me down once. I will not let it happen again. So it looks like getting, I don't know, some light drizzle out here or something. That might even just be humidity accumulating on my windshield here, but it's pretty frustrating. If I put my wipers on, it's just going to smear it, screw up my video. All right, done with that guy. Hopefully forever. Well, I was hoping to be starting my work shift from right around where I'm at right now, but unfortunately I had a trailer tire blowout yesterday and it cost me 2.5 hours sitting on the side of the highway to get a tire changed, so I didn't make it as far as I wanted to. So I've got a pretty cool video on that. Almost finished with it. I'll get it put up this afternoon or this evening at some point. But heading Interstate 44 westbound right now. Going to be on this route for 273 more miles. I'm going to exit in Big Cabin, Oklahoma, and get on Route 69, which will turn into 75. And take that on into Dallas, Texas.
At Evilneuro says I am so gonna watch that man. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The guy that came out to switch the tire out, I mean, I was on Interstate 70 near Effingham, Illinois, and it was just in a bad spot, so I went out and stood behind all my triangles, just trying to give some extra warning for drivers to get over and everything, but I do not envy that guy's job. Dangerous work right there. Looking at the time, there's a McDonald's in 33 miles. I could go for an Egg McMuffin right now, but I don't know if they're going to be open yet. It's only 4:30-ish in the morning here right now. Sometimes the McDonald's are 24 hours. Sometimes they open at 5 a.m. But half the time I stop at like 10 after 5, and like nobody shows up for work on time, and they don't open on time.
Some open 24/7.
Yeah, some of them are, but a lot of them close overnight, and then they're supposed to open at like 5, but half the time I stop at like 5:15, and you know, they're still closed, or they got their dining room closed because half the people didn't show up on time, or nobody showed up on time. So nothing's more frustrating than you know, spending 15 or 20 minutes getting off the highway and getting back on, and still ending up empty-handed with nothing to eat. So I just really don't stop unless it's 6 or 7 in the morning at least. Oh man, so I've been on duty for 25 days in a row now.
Says I'll be even more hungry.
Yeah, and I'm trying to be on a diet and, you know, really not eat at all, so I probably shouldn't even be thinking about McDonald's at this point. Me there back in 2009. That's my first over the road. So it's like coming of age time frame in my driving career. So the company went out of business like in November or December later in 2009, but man, I really had a good time there, and I got a lot of memories from there, even though I was only there less than a year. And it'd be kind of cool to drive past there again. I haven't been close to there, but not past there in at least 10 or 11 years or so. Guy in front of me going 67 miles an hour. Gonna have to pass him. 66 miles an hour now. That's my distance warning beep, so I'll go ahead and get over now. They got all these the forward-facing camera tied into the tractor computer, tied into the radar, tied into the wiring harness. They got all kinds of AI programs on these trucks now. So if I go over the speed limit by too much, it saves a clip of video, sends it to my safety department. If I don't have enough following distance, it does the same thing.
Devil Neuro says we overtaking LMAO.
Yep. Yep, got to put these people in my rear view. That's a FedEx ground trailer there, so big difference between FedEx ground and FedEx freight.
Devil Neuro says, "God damn, that's crazy."
Yeah, it's pretty shitty with all the micromanaging going on nowadays. I can't even decide where I buy fuel at anymore. Like, they hand